Okay, thank you. So, well, I'm always like a track these days. So technology stack. So this one is a talk about Visual Studio Code. I know probably you using already or not using.
Not yet.
Okay, so that's good because this is very start from kind of scratch. So if you ever play with it, maybe half part is very boring. But if you never, it's very good. So, okay, so at the first day of the conference, somehow we come to here. I don't know what that means. That means before another session, you wanted to know this, so both, and then so I hope you not come here mistake and just enjoy. And so, Kiyoshi Terasawa, and yep, I was Flex guy inside of CA organization long time enough, 70 years. Well, it's pretty already 5 or 6 years since I see from outside. So still to continue, and then still have an insider connection if you want, but you know, they respond to me, that's good. So, yep. Jonah, you wanted to say something or?
I just want to pipe in about VS Code.
Yes.
Do any background?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. So VS Code, well, today's agenda is very simple, but maybe I hope it's fitting. We cover a little bit IDMI, the extension, but also cover the pretty much pre-state of anything. So I have some presentation with some brief show demo, and then do exercise 1, which is the time to share the VM information. So I'll paste to the these two. I lost. What? There. Okay, so pasted. So if you click that, you can go to the VM screen, and then you have, I hope you have Microsoft account, and just go, and then just start processing. So then just the background stuff. So we continue. Okay. Okay. So then, yeah, so exercise 1 is very basic of VS Code, and you just to be familiar with that. And then exercise 2, we use the extension someone provide. Don't think it's official IBM one, but it's an extension for IBM package. So you could connect to the S400, and you can filter source program as an object, etc. And you can compile, you can debug. So the other thing is, yeah, to provide a default, lots of default behavior in the action people, but you can also add some action, but also that's I think for me, I'm not daily IBMI developer, but most simply good thing is you can see the source code in a scrolling manner, not let's see, that's already kind of logic now, and lots of highlighting, etc. Okay. And then some other little tip I kind of found maybe useful using even for like the press, daily job, some very simple thing, but it's probably very useful if you can use it. So that's kind of including in summary. Okay, well, that's, I hope we can start at least hopefully. And if you want to log in, that's fine, you can log in. So if you log in, there's a middle of desktop, there's a shortcut of a PDF for the exercise. I don't put this slide, but you guys go through fast, so I want to avoid that. And then there's a taskbar, I mean, Windows bottom line, so you have VS Code shortcut, so you can click, then it starts. So I install at least, but no, it's very plain. So it's just a current version of VS Code without any extra things installed. Okay, so VS Code, okay, go. Okay, why it's so popular? First of all, well, it's made by Microsoft, and it's probably very rare. I mean, if you go any conference, front end, like even like a deep learning or any of these day conference, and the people bring not always Windows PC, and most of the people bring the Mac PC, I Mac. Well, still, but they using Visual Studio for most case. I mean, so it's it's open source, free, and a very expandable and very light. And so that's it's used very actually. So, and I don't know what I say, but it's very handy, very light. That's just even it's support of different languages. So it's just one IDE, you can do lots of different things. So I think I saw in the last break session, and we showed a number of it. So basically, it's a very young, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, they first published, released. Well, then after 3 years, always number one. It's like 75% of people at least using out of this number of people answering. So even maybe that 75 may be too high, not every day, everything they use, but at least they have used what they use for the certain thing. Yeah. Good. So VS Code it's a kind of, you could say extreme text editor, if you could say. Very nice expandable text editor, maybe. And so you can edit, search, build on the back with very same manner and support many different programming languages, which actually VS Code is not support. It's an extension portion to support. And in support, well, they just listed the language, but just measure that support means like a different thing, right? You can syntax hierarchy. So you have the RPG and a call statement, call it result word. So someone create a kind of grammar file. So that's why all the move or those is different color or different look and feel. And constant with a single quote, double quote, and number, those are all kind of show up different ways. And well, some languages, yeah, so error check is there, IntelliSense, and like even some nice visualization. I show later, but when you type red or like 121, 0, 3, so you see the actual color instead of number. So it's very handy for the basic, web people. So lots of ones of them. And well, it's also support connecting to the different platform. So it's like, you can go Azure, you can go AWS, you can go mainframe, you can go AMI to do the basically same activity.
listen to the speaker, so I should pipe in here. So, curious, who uses Eclipse here? How happy with Eclipse?
Yeah, RDI, but it's okay, you know, it's fine. I just, it's more of that, I mean, if we were to bring in, you know, new developers or whatnot, especially if they don't have any experience in RPG, more than likely they're gonna be used to something like Python, VS Code.
Yeah.
So,
So that's the thing, I painfully learned Eclipse. I could. Well, not when this code first came out, I kind of was aware of it. It's like, I don't want to learn anything new. But then started going to these conferences, IBM mainframe especially, started using it. Why is that? So I started investigating. And of course, Kiyoshi was already using it. So I just became aware of it like 2 years ago, maybe. And it's like, it's talking to IBM, wherever else. Why are you interested? It's because of that. The new developers don't want to learn Eclipse. Eclipse is legacy. It's like, wow, okay. And it really is, I think it can be replacement for Eclipse. Does pretty much everything. It doesn't do everything right now, but RDI does. But you can't get all the plugins. Plugins don't work the same exact way as Eclipse, but I think that's changing. And I think, you know, Broadcom says, mainframe guys say they're going to replace Eclipse plugins for John in years, go. So that's why we're so interested in Visual Studio too. I don't know. Does this can this replace Visual Studio?
Still, they could, yeah, you can use C# or VS Code. I haven't used that, and it's still like a solution concept. It's probably still Visual Studio does better, but it's really up to who make that difference, right? To load the project and then do the same thing, but yeah.
It's curious if we pay for Visual Studio. So
Yeah. But that's come from the same company, right? So, so that's a very great idea. Okay. Well, just okay, maybe I show VS Code itself and well, maybe first. So there's a sidebar on the left and the menu as usual, just IDE. And the concept was likely, except you go to the very deep usage, it starts you open the folder. That's a basic action. So you have some folders, you have some files, some projects, some Java, Python, etc. You open the folder. That's the idea. And then in the folder, it showed like a Reg Explorer 3, 5, things. Well, then if you have some project for that person, Java, you have maybe a project, when if you have installed right plugin, it's automatically detecting that we have a project, and then it shows the project one. But you can still show the source and folder structure, and you can switch between them. Well, opening file, just open the file. So it's just open. So you see already some different coloring, and then the file bracket, etc. So when you have I mean, even you don't put any extension, most of major file is only be displayed certain way. And terminal, so that's like a command prompt manner that it's if you have probably PowerShell is the default. Then if you install different kind of extension, you get a different the command area. That's it. They call town. You can run the different command combine it underneath. Yeah, then search. So even well, search is one thing. So if you open the folder, it's just a quickly provide. It's a very simple search within the folder like that. I want to, well, I will demonstrate that. So if you type certain phrase inside of the folder you opened, and it's just a very quick to show the result. I can use regex as well. Okay, so maybe. Okay. Well, my environment is pretty much messed up. I have lots of different extensions installed, but that's the sidebar. You have shortcut and then browser search. I'm not opening any file. I just open the one folder I have. So there's an open folder or open descent. It's just a browsing or whatever. So I have this source folder, which is available in the VM. So I just create just one folder which contains different type of sources. Okay, so it's nothing compiled, just showing C#, C++. Well, some are Plex generated, but it's just important is text and syntax and the thing. So if you see the C#, you see the like a different highlighting already, and each file it's same. It's recognizing this is a header file for C++ and the CPP, and then you see like a left hand icon already. So it shows the type of file as best common sense. So Java, it has Java code. Okay. And if you go Python, yeah, it's a different syntax. And I already installed some extensions, so it's a CSS. You see the actual dark blue or in whitey color. So this red is red. So it's just a pretty handy. I mean, when you just editing CSS or HTML, so it's automatically detecting. And so this is TypeScript and this is JavaScript. So you see the tiny thing you don't see here, but TS.js is also displayed. But interestingly, so these you can customize, you can install the different extension. You can, there's an icon only extension, just a file type detection. So lots of some funny thing exist as well. So I open the file. Okay, so of course, just simply double click, open file. That's fine. So it's just open the file. And then there's a search button next to. Okay, so here, I don't know. So if I search Turkey02, that's my CA time ID. Okay. So the source code contain a comment of if I change the group model. so you see that showing up as finding the thing. So you can just double click. So it's just handy. If you have Gen directory open and this type of what you looking for, it's quickly you get some hit. I mean, this not lots of files. So if you have a lot of files, it may be slow, but it's handy, simple now. And of course, you can do this with a Visual Studio or some nice text editor, but it's just handy. So if you're opening, you're working, you just start using that, and you can do lots of things. And regex, yes, and we are not doing a dot star. I think it's still same thing. I change to .3, then you don't hit anything. .2, you hit the same thing. So it's a good. Okay, the other thing it provides is it has kind of account concept. So you can sign in to the Microsoft accounts, and then it's remember what extension you installed. And if you use another PC, and then log in with the same, you get automatically the update with the same kind of environment from the account. So if you use sometimes, virtual machine or, different box, different PC, if you set up this, just set up when you starting out on the login, you get the same stage of ID. So that's including like the TMI, etc. So you always see the same UX in it. Okay, now extension. So there's an extension menu or icon available on both. So you click it, and then it's like a app store for the phone. So there's a bunch of extension someone create for you to make your life easy. So it's some very productive, some just look and feel. Some are very do nothing, but just fun. So that's that's like a different community base. So it's not always something to help for you, but just nothing is existent. I have one. I don't know if you realize. So I have one here. Years old, and there is something moving around, so it's just nothing. Just moving understand. It's nothing to do. It's just that they are here, and even you can add new guy, selecting, and then hit enter, and then it's added item. And also the other serious thing is whenever you type, you get some noise here. Key upload, key access. I think you have typed quick enough, you get some score. Okay. Okay, so yeah, it's a different kind of extension. So it's a language park, which, well, language means two kind of course, like a human language, like a Japanese, Chinese, English, that kind of language park exists, but also, of course, programming language. So pack means someone create like a group of extension to start with. So if you want to start Python, for instance, but you don't know what you install, but there's typically someone group the dependency, and you just select, and it will automatically download all the extension you may need to start something. So it's the same as like App Store. So if you go there and then try to install, you see the star and how many people installing, etc. So it's just the same as before. Smartphone world. So maybe just to prefer who is doing, and a lot of star, 5-star, 4-star, and then how many installed. So that's still just the popularity easily. Syntax highlight. So that's a normally probably part of language park, but we could get a different syntax highlighting. And debugger, of course, and IntelliSense. So those are very common, but if you install, well, if you have Eclipse, well, it does all for Java. So that's means for Java. But these like I said, VS Code has some default behavior really with kind of related languages, especially, but you'll still be able to add like an enhanced version of that. Well, environment, so source control. So there's a very friendly with the Git, GitLab, or maybe, not just the Git engine, but there's a very specific extension for the GitHub or GitLab. So that's much handy. well, platform again, yeah, if you're working for Azure, you can have a Azure extension, and you can see the storage inside of Azure. S3, same thing, AWS, you can do quite a lot, you can connect. Yep. Yeah, and well, mainframe as well, IBM I. And database, yeah, database, of course, you can connect, like a, connect to the DB2 on the S400, you see like a table schema kind of thing. But then all it does is basically it's a play under the cover, either filing API or filing SQL too. So once you have connection string, it's just a UI to how to display the result. So very right. Well, some recommendations. So if you open or create a new file type, like for instance, I think that on the VM, I put the Java or I put the Python, etc., but I didn't install any of the extension. So if you do that on the right bottom corner by default, you want to install language path for that language. It's automatic, so it's some kind of recommendation to ask you. And also, you can search by name. To show you do it moment, but you can use app to group by category too. So you can do that. Yeah. Very, I don't know, let's see, what I should do. Not change. Let me say. Yeah. Don't think anything works here. Still back to the okay. So this is the extension menu icon on normally probably you see on the left hand, maybe top 3 or 4th one. And if you click that, you see what installed and recommended, but I have a lot of things installed, but you can use, you don't see, right? Okay. Better. So if you put the app mark, that's like a built-in categories listed, and then the simple one is like installed. So if you put the app installed, only list of what you installed, and if you type programming languages, and then you see there are lots of language related things listed. Also, like I said, so if I have, so not, I have installed a lot of extension already, but if I put something, by the way, you can create file easily by adding groups and then put the folder, then I say R, then so I don't know anything about language R, but if I take hello.r, okay, and if I enter and it's asked you want to install the extension or R, and then if I put, and then it's come to here where it's very popular. Okay, maybe go ahead and then install. Yeah, it's installed. I don't know what's happening, but it's at least you see that different icon here, and I don't know syntax, but so it's a there. That's how they, yeah, you can jump start to something you don't know, and then typically it comes with the nice simple UI. So I mean help kind of. So if I close all, save. What's that? So this is like a homepage, welcome page. I mean, by default, it's open, but if you lost, just go to help and welcome. And then there's a bunch of things. They provide some kind of walkthrough or what is called like the things you need to step to use, or some help, or it's too pro. So it's showing you how to open the file, and then yes, it's showing some tips. So, okay, sorry, it's too large, yeah, too small. But it's a kind of sometimes navigation like some help and so. And of course, if you go to extension and the R, so you see there's some information underneath. My resolution is not very good for that, but we see that. And yeah, lots of things. Yeah. Okay. This is slide. Okay. So that's how you probably install extension. If you know what first what you want to do, probably you don't do this approach, but you still search and then some finding things. And if you just type Java, then you see get the list of item, and then maybe find most common one first. Maybe that should work. Well, different type of extensions. So I think there's like a look and feel type of so thema. So you can change. Well, by default, it has lots of different thema like provide, but there's people making different things, so you can just change look and feel. And icon. So icon is another thing. So it's lots of again different icon types. So just I don't know how good if you just see doing one Java thing, probably doesn't bother. But if you have doing other front end and back end together, so that's very highlighting things with your file is. And yeah, that's a thorough extension. So by default, of course, red show as text of red. But if you have some this type of extension, you see the actual color will be displayed as well. And that's nothing. So just a pipette and power mode. So you just see the things moving around. So that's just a intro for that. So okay, so just a exercise. Well, it's not really exercise. It's just a playing on the VM and a playing install to by changing anything, just a searching or open file or some like that extension, etc. So just be familiar with IDE. That's a whole point. So put some exercise in the right. So if you successfully log in, maybe see much smaller screen, but so you have the exercise PDF in front, middle, I hope. And just open the exercise one. And if you click the Visual Studio Code at the bottom taskbar, it's open. And then just to play with it. So just open file, not open folder. So and then it's in source folder. So you can start play with it. So mine is already kind of little messed up. So you see the different maybe icon. So well, okay, so just exercise, but any question you don't want to play with it, you can just ask questions, whatever. So this one, it doesn't need to play in a long time, but just yeah, it's just an opportunity, I think, if you never touch it. So VM, yeah. I think if you go to the Zoom, yeah. So that's the one.
Everything is to use the password or private key for the idea.
Yeah. You, come on, yes.
Oh, so that.
No, that's not, this.
Is.
So. It's possible. Just a lowercase. Same as that. Yeah.
But no. Trying to get your downloads out.
Hold on. I checked the profile, sometime it's
Oh.
expired.
So 10 might be disabled.
Yeah, I name it, I know that's happened, so. That's, I prepare, oh, it's serial name.
Okay.
One way, so just like it.
Yeah.
And then this. Can be over.
Yeah.
That's right.
Trying to do them.
Inside.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Right, because then they put your
Yeah.
machine together. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Try that.
Two still active, so it's something else.
You get that same thing, Jim? Well, I didn't, but I got the passport problem. Yeah, yeah, should you have an explanation yet?
No, it's just, it's,
Yeah, it's just,
It's the usual name off it, cash, it's a mixed case.
doesn't.
Trash. Yeah.
Someone else is already using a username, you have trouble. Or you have multiple sign-ups. Anyone?
There's no thing possible still. No, no thing.
Oh,
Like, just.
oh, gotcha. Okay. Oh, just connect now. Okay. Oh, okay. Changing.
Ah,
Yeah. That's weird.
okay. Well, it works for me. Fine.
It's fine, all right. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's all within the virtual, so.
Okay.
Oh. Just right, so I isn't local to this.
Gonna disconnect.
I will try that.
Nothing special.
I know, right? Doesn't like me. It's all right. It's fine, so like, my, into the help box got it. The office is. Yeah, I have to. Yeah, I gotta get it. So it's just fine. I agree. Yeah. Oh, there. Yeah. Right, yeah. I know, yeah, but just say files. I need to delete those. That's exactly right. Don't need those anymore. It's just chewing up space.
Well, some people go to exercise too already, so wanna talk a little bit, step back. So tonight, then I go to break, I think. Okay, so yeah, just it's called for IBMI, and then some people already installed these are things, but just first showing up to how you look for. So you just category, add category and program languages, and you see lots of things. And you can type afterward, like a IBM, then you see mainframe, IBM related language plugin as well. I haven't tried, but of course there's a database connection plugin too, so you could connect to the DB2 400 with a, I think it's just JDBC connection string you provide as a property, then you can see the data as well. Yeah, lots of different language parts, so someone prepare for you, dependency, etc. So just a one shot, you get kind of ready environment. Java, Python, C++, a lot of the packages available. And there's setting. So extension, each extension has a configuration setting sometimes. And then how you go is sometimes have trouble to find out. So those people who talk you knows everything, so they can explain. So there's a setting from the right, the gear icon and the setting menu. And then, so this is basically not just the extension setting, it's all of this IDE setting. And then you see the extension here, okay? So then it's just a listing. This is a little tricky UI, but on left hand, you see if you are scrolling, it's changed to the next section. So it's just a flat one. Oh, really? Good. So yeah, so this is like you need to keep eye on what you are editing, but it's just a very seamless scrolling like a sequence of property unit. So if you go to code for IBM I, so you have some setting here that's you could play with it. One thing maybe I didn't include in the website. So let's see. I think so. This is a view you see without touching anything, but I do. Maybe I should disconnect. By the way, disconnect option is available. I'm not seeing. Okay, so here, so that's the disconnect option. You can disconnect, by the way. And then I think there's a connection setting, and you could do some option enable source date, I think. So if you check on and then save, and then connect again, don't feel that's much usable, but I mean, some way it's usable. Because I mean, help. So once connected, and then if you come to stay here. No. Okay, I need to show the date here. It doesn't show the date. Okay. That's why if I try to do something not prepared, it's always fail. Yeah. Maybe if okay, so now you see the date changed. So 5 and then save to track the date. Well, that's pretty. It's possible in the DDS editor. I mean, green screen editor, but something interesting. I'm not sure that's very useful or not, but so I don't save, so I delete that line. Okay, so this is the starting point. If I have a new line and I type something, and then I think there's a where is it? Yeah. Where is it? Sorry, I forgot. No. Yeah, I forgot. So you can do undo. I mean, that's what I want to show. But before you save, you can do undo. But I don't think it's very useful thing to do. So yeah, it's a show there's some extra information. Okay. So that whenever it's asked to setting change for the extension, you need to go there. It's a little kind of it's a little unique way to find the setting. So, but it's there, and so. And yeah, so there's a IBMI development park, so you get this kind of thing with one shot. There's a part of that it's called Code for IBMI works throughs. So it's just to provide some wizard like, so you can you have already. I mean, if you go to, I mean, if you already installed, if not, maybe do later.
Yes, it's missing.
Okay, so in the let's start talking. So yeah, walkthrough. So if you go to welcome screen, and then so here left hand, so it's say walkthrough, and whenever you install something, you probably get something. So like code for IBMI, and you want to do the tips or debugging here. Okay, so there's an option for debug. And it's just a kind of like checklist to do. But it's not actually, some command does, but it's just a, like a flow of what need to be done before you debug. So I did already, so that's why it's running for everyone. But if you install, so it's provided like what PDF is required. So of course, it doesn't check anything, but it's just to ask someone to check. And then set up certificate. So this one-time thing, but it's a client who need to have a private key or public key otherwise. So you just generate, because this is a VM clone, so it's already have. And then, yeah, there's a last one, the start up the debug service. So of course, that's what I kind of requested. So if I click that, it's showing up the message, you want to start, and then I already started. So that's why it's saying it's already running, you want to restart. But that, I little had a fun time to sort out this step before this demo, this session. But yeah, these are the steps you need to take, and it's also like only one person need to do, etc. So it's very handy to help to set up the environment as well.
Yeah. Rational, will prompt you if the service isn't running, you want to start it now.
Yeah, okay. Yep. Okay. Very tiny icon now. Okay. Yeah, so different set of steps you do. Yeah. Well, exercise 2 already maybe started, but so the goal is install extension, connect, and then yeah, view object, view source. You can compile, and the running program, which probably nothing happened because it's just about to program do nothing. But yeah, you can run. You can specify custom action as well. And if you have compiled. If you select the CL, then it automatically pop up the 4 different type of create program. And then, well, it's just a probably default extra parameter, maybe from system. I cannot tell where it's come from, but you can add extra property, parameter for the command. Also, you can define things and then debugging. So far, I don't know, so it's only debug non-UI program as I thought, but maybe sometime someone come out a solution because Eclipse can do, I believe. But this is really handy if you developing API, for instance, and then you have program and you wrapping API. Okay, you want to see where my problem. So, yeah, that's a very handy thing to do in single environment, especially that's the thing. Well, I don't know. So it's there's a Python file, long file, and if you set up the install, so that's maybe good. So Python, yeah, I played a little bit recently. So for the NLP, natural language process, that's neat. So, yeah. I still not able to beat the Java for VS Code. It's Eclipse is a major, so I cannot around. But I personally using VS Code for Java, and then Python, of course. I'm not web guy, so I'm not doing. But my team in the Vietnam, or I think Abraham, etc., who using VS Code for the web for sure. So you can run the debugger, like you run from Chrome debugger, so it's an extension to connect to that debugger. So it's a, you can see from here to there, and TypeScript debugging, that's some other thing, because TypeScript is, well, probably now it's fine, but it's run as JavaScript at runtime, because TypeScript is regenerated as JavaScript. So depends on how you debug with a pure browser, you still may be able, debugging JavaScript, not the TypeScript. But with this kind of extension or VS Code, you can debug TypeScript. That's a very big benefit. Okay, so I have some other demo, but I stop here and then maybe have break or continue. So 3:20. Too long? 3:15? Okay, 3:15.
That is one thing that it doesn't do that Eclipse does. Editing CLs you can't font. In
Really,
English,
for-
prompt and bring up the green screen list of parameters. No, it's a green screen.
Yeah, okay.
No,
You start the extension, here language extension. Just try to look the,
In Rational, when editing. a
no,
C-
I mean, other extension here.
Is there?
I don't know, so just ask.
Wasn't part of the pack.
Yeah, well, the park is just somewhere, so.
And that it's handy in being able to do that occasionally. Font and see what's
So
available.
here language.
But
two.
when I put it in, it fills it in for me. What is available? Yeah, so I just put that in. So it puts that all there. So if I go do something, I know, but let me do something bigger. What has a lot of work?
Well, the thing he used as an example, three job attributes, there's a 100 thing. Yeah.
See all. This, again, something message. And then I can then go down.
That's a completion, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing is that it recognizes your variables to stick them in there,
Yeah.
which Eclipse does not do.
Not on the bottom.
No. So.
That's what they do.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like the IntelliSense and guess you call it, Microsoft, slightly, yeah, or, sure, yeah, so I do that.
They want Barry to spring 150 per seat for plugin for Studio with force of syntax highlighted on all your seats, but not syntax highlighted, syntax layout on your seat states.
Okay. $150.
Yeah.
Okay. So just making sure it's not $150.
I said probably viable. They said,
Yeah.
it's not just that, but it can also autofill stuff for you.
Oh, okay.
Save amount.
Oh, okay, now see here,
There you go. That's, yeah, well worth it then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I add some extension there,
Mhm.
it does. Yeah, so one message.
The lightning,
Yeah.
the,
That's his plugin for the,
oh,
Yeah, that's city plugin.
Oh.
You type, then fire.
it shows you where you're typing.
gotcha.
No, also,
It's above it.
Hmm?
So it shows above it, right?
Yeah.
For your text. So yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So that way, oh my goodness, look at this, I'm typing all of this code and I'm making.
Yeah,
all
you
kinds of
feel good, right?
errors.
There's a, not just firebug, there's other.
Right. Well, and again, it's the whole gamification because now you're at 50 times.
Yeah.
50 characters typed. I
Oh,
was watching
Oh.
cases as he typed.
Yeah.
I think, yeah,
I've been able to type 100 characters in a run without pausing.
that there's some city people doing something fun. Yeah,
So
yeah, some,
have you seen any benchmarks of which uses more resources? VS Code versus Eclipse?
don't know, actually, but it's a very few very right, at least.
Well, this is a whole web browser under the covers. Web browsers chew a lot of resources.
Yeah, it's called browser.
Well, it's an electrical
Exist,
type
yeah,
program.
Maybe a heavy like CPU, just like processors was tons more.
I was thinking RAM as well.
Yeah, RAM is also, I think, I mean, well, I'm probably not doing the crazy heavy thing using this, but well, I know the past experience of Eclipse, which is,
Since it's all written in Java.
yeah,
So this is in JavaScript. So
yeah. But other command, oh, so copy F,
CPYF.
no,
and full space or whatever afterwards.
there's no suggestion.
Weird. You bumped.
Okay.
Oh,
What else?
between
Submit,
job attributes.
job, okay, submit job.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So,
Delete spool file.
hmm?
Delete spool file. How? Let's see if it
Maybe
functions this one.
delete.
DOTSPLF.
Which
File. Does it have PWR D power DWN sys?
change?
Does it have P? Level?
The dictionary doesn't have enough, I guess.
Does it have power down sys? PWR.
Those one.
Yep.
So they were doing things with SQL,
Yeah.
the Q command exec out of SQL, they can power down your
Oh,
system.
okay.
Yeah, with a SQL statement.
So you can
Yeah.
embed kind of same way.
Yeah.
Embed.
Hey, I better just get some rights on this box. Fuck,
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Okay. You don't have rights to do that.
Yeah,
Oh, wait.
but, but
I've never tried it actually.
Please don't.
Just do it on iPhone,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, do it on iWeb. Yeah, exactly.
Where I don't have rights at all.
Well, I hope not.
I once to browse the IRS.
Oh, okay.
So that requires, because you guys haven't done it yet, it requires the bad version of SMB.
You're right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've asked him if Danny wants to move it. It's just the web team. I don't think Danny's been forced it, but he should.
The web team, there was an older version of the SMB too, that we did patch while Kim was still there. The previous version didn't work well with SVN.
Oh,
Well, didn't work well for a lot of the IRS, but they fixed that and we did let it. And it works fine on the web. They got around the web, but web team said they need.
well, anyway, just so you know, this is what I'm gonna be showing for.
Oh.
So just like it's taken.
Is SQL plugin yet?
So that's the thing is so because his CSID was the default, it didn't work. Or you couldn't navigate the DB2 schemas. So with ours, now that we've changed over to that does work, it still says that there's our social source files still have that 65.535, which and I thought our source files we want to change.
Sure, I am. Because I've always worked on stuff that's been set up and I.
Right, right. Well, that's the thing is this should get set up. Yeah, but
I don't know what it would do to the old, EF-35.
well, so that's the interesting thing. So, I mean, the 38s, right? 38, yeah. Those, the C, I think those CSIDs are all set as 37. Yeah, I think all of our physical files, even, I even checked some of those old, really old ones.
The newest ones.
Yeah, yeah, they're all 37. Well, wait. I haven't checked it with no one.
Ones that you're gonna be only complex class.
I mean, CSSID.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so yeah, that's the thing is, so our default was set to that 65, 535.
Yeah.
And it's causing issues with VS Code. Well, that's
I
so,
think, yeah, they're
so-
always setting, but yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I was talking to Liam about that. And so he's the one who does all this, right? Builds that. And he's the one who, when you're setting it up, he put that whole bit in there about, yeah, I connected already, but where's? Three minutes.
Those are the,
Yeah. There is. There's, wait, select it. This one. Yeah, okay, here we go.
only one at a time.
Yeah, you can have multiple.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
actually you can connect it a dozen times.
So if you read that last little bit, it says, you know, if this year's, it references a protocol, oh, wait, hold on. Then you say, well. Oh. He removed that.
Mhm.
Okay. That is interesting.
It's because what I was talking, says he was talking with the author just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. He must have made a change, because he made a snarky comment about, if 65 is 35, 35 is your default, you have bigger problems, you know, and so.
Oh.
Someone else did in this case.
Yeah. Yeah,
So, well, really, plus the, yeah, right, plus the 1 PA plus 37.
yeah,
And I think we told it to me 5 and 6.
yeah,
Well, not ours.
Because otherwise, that'll do that for you.
right, yeah, right,
So the whole really depends on outside.
right,
So there's a way,
Well-
so you can have system level,
yeah.
you have job level.
Mhm.
If you continue with CSS,
Mhm.
the last thing, program whoever says these 5 different platforms, it's kind of required to that things. Right, so that's how it's. Wait, so that's what, don't think all English fluent. Seven, then skip from the PD, so level of
Right.
data is for more. But rather support different languages using same application, but two in one, so we could 65535 means do not no problem. So you set is the same by no extra money. But your whatever like responsibility to use for so that's why I think that what you see on the screen is not the most case. I mean, most case
Some of
people.
it's an
Yeah.
academic conversion, no matter what.
People report a bunch of things to read that.
Yeah.
We should, right, because only people believe this is the thing. This is what it is. Don't do the text model while out there, but otherwise, nothing. And if you find out when the control happening. Okay. And if it happens, we move to the system. Change.
Change or the call file,
Yeah.
getting headed one way by.
Okay. The Davis elections.
You're just speaking to see.
The trend provided. Takes is.
To change our system default.
Yeah, and then C6IV is only the 12. It's
I
got
think-
like.
Yeah.
Encoding. That was it, I did.
Yeah, it's a bunch of change. It's, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you came over here.
What's the free stuff?
Yeah.
So that's where. Well, that's just on the source file. Program. Created.
So I don't know if this is Spanish. It's only open Spanish. Okay.
Well, I know CL looks big. And if you look at my library, you can probably glance at a few of those. Days, we never do it as then.
See.
Years the long way. Still the volume of COs. Fine, here and that's the file I couldn't share. Take an 8 on. What would be the policy admin prefix? Yeah.
Oh,
So.
Big.
look.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
According to Kiyoshi, you don't notice the file and take to 37 file.
Right, okay, which is great, because then all of our. So. You.
It's not,
Is it VA Live?
yeah, but thank you.
So that.
So that's good.
You ready to? Oh, no, that is, just what you have to do.
Yeah, no, WBA of 25, I think.
Oh.
All right.
So. Then this, so I told you about those, what's it?
Well, UH data have some of our newest.
Right.
Well, there's a reason to rebuild, I guess.
So, student.
Oh,
Yeah, so it uses our default language, I think, for our table structures.
that was set up in Steve files.
Maybe,
Maybe.
maybe. This is, we're using Plexix 10 job description. Does the job description have a CSID on it?
It's built in the way Plex the mix file.
No, it doesn't. But we will be connecting make up to start with structure, make up the generator. Yeah, just
One thing.
What to?
Check is
So-
the IFS box, but
I'm not sure you go to the exercise 3, but so just like a, it's not nothing about what the VS Code provide, but just a handy thing as individual to use. Like for instance, this one is a Plex, but you can apply anything. So so I have created other folder models. So if I go there,
It's just,
so I just have the model
And then I guess just join.
directory has just a gen folder and the model, flex
Okay.
model. Okay, so this is, and then,
Yes.
well, you open,
I look some.
so only have 4 gigabytes, it just string, but I think when I just looked in the previous session, Andrew did some talking about the Git with group model, but this is much lighter, so it's just for you,
Mhm.
not the, group, but
Yeah.
I think this kind of I feel handy to do, so just open a local model. Okay, so you change anything, so just I change the name. Okay. Okay, let's save. Okay, I save it, and then because I already installed the Git extension, the Git engine here.
Mhm.
So you come here, okay, it's automatically detect change I made to the model.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the change. Of course, you can know what to change, but it's binary.
Right.
But like a build file, I didn't mean to change what the build file looks like, adding something. Not, you don't know what will happen, right?
Right.
So, but interesting is, so you have some doing some experiment, okay? So you save, and then maybe I generate code, okay? So I can generate code, just like rename, right? So
Mhm.
I just generate just a UI function, okay? And because I'm monitoring that root folder, so this UI detecting, okay, 3 file change.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and then, well,
These are now
sorry,
test files.
I just did a comment and uncomment, but so you see that this line difference left and right, before and after.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, now, okay, you don't like this at all, right? Okay, you do. I mean, of course, you need to close the model, of course, but just close model, okay? Know what I mean? So you can do discard all changes.
Okay.
Okay, so if you do discard, so the Git remove the change since last commit.
Mhm.
Now, if you go back to model and then open the same model, you're now back to employee. What they
Right,
said.
you didn't save changes.
So
He did save changes, but then he had.
yeah, I saved change, but the commit is rolled back.
Oh,
So that's
They
just
say-
yeah.
oh, I missed that actually saved it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
saved.
You
This
said-
is Git
oh,
does,
wow,
not
okay.
the Prexa.
That's
So
nifty.
so
But it did throw away his whole local model, well, revert his whole local. model.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
but at least you can do a little more. Like if you create a branch,
Yeah.
you can just switch between.
Well, checking in can get quirky.
I know, but that's why it's just for you.
Yeah.
So you experiment.
Right.
You maybe sometimes copy and rename and do that thing, right? But this is very instant, and you can roll back all the source code you generate as well,
All sorts to generate.
which is you surprise depends on what kind of functions generate. You realize with this way, I didn't mean to generate that code, but like all in out is
Right.
sometimes regenerated, right? So you can see all the difference, and if you know, changing something very specific, you can confirm
Right.
the change without any effort.
Okay.
Or
So-
you've got the one in production versus.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's a more real production. I mean, Git
But
proper usage.
Every some now and again, some of the parameters will change.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the same list of
Yeah, yeah.
parameters. Yeah.
So, well, of course, you can have remote repo and you can share with other people, or even you can just a personal remote repo and you can push and you can work on the different machine, just extract local over there. That's handy. And then if you consider branch to do that, and then you can switch back between, of course, yeah, group model is a program, but this is just a personal thing. So you can do little save time, and you can good for experiment, especially, and this is the code file. And so you don't, if you commit and you create branch, you don't lose anything. You can switch bar. This way, it just I roll back everything. So you lost what you did, but that's good. Of course, you confuse yourself if you do too much, but it depends how you comment and so on. So, but especially source code rollback without anything, that's good. And then you maybe find something like, for instance, if you think if you have Java program or C# or whatever, and then calling RPZ. If you generate that caller, you also get RPZs in out also same time generated.
Yeah.
You probably don't realize that you have no way to view from Plex to IDE because it's happen, right? And then RPZ, if you do the view source, you only see the RPZ, DES,
Yeah.
right? But there's an in-out source agent. There's no way to view the source right now from Plex.
Well, I thought if you right click and said view source from the client,
But
it listed the 5 things.
Yeah.
you don't right. It's not calling function, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's why you can kind of see that the thing, and then whenever you do build file updated, okay, that's not mean to, but you wonder how often the Plex is doing build file, and lots of people I remember try to click the save the local model always for the save the build file, but the build file is always saved, but then you click OK. I mean, OK of the function option.
Yeah.
But it's just a habit that I think you could see. I mean, just for prep, but you can do the same thing. It's just an open file, and then so if I open some
.config or whatever that keeps, if I mess up and close Plex while it's minimized, it throws out where all the toolbars were. That's the one I'd like to revert.
So if I open folder, and then if I go to this source control view, and then it's scanning, and then it's not managed right now by Git. So it just do the initialize repository and add so automatically add the required thing, and then now you are under the control of the file control. So I'm not connecting any remote. So just doing anything, everything in local, but it's still a handy thing to do. I mean, you can enhance, of course, to do the remote repo if you want, but that's a fun handy usage. You can do some binary, anything. I mean, like a SharePoint may be doing something similar. Yes, when you edit the notebook, so that it's kind of similarly. So, and then of course you can change the source viewer to be exposed from Plex too. So, but you maybe always open the gen directory on the side. That's also handy too, because it's better than Explorer. We can search, and it's not slow as searching Explorer contents. Yeah.
Battery low.
Can that charge on C? Do you have a power? bank?
Yeah, you have.
Just awful.
Mhm.
That's one handy thing to do, and
$2 across the top.
yeah. So yeah, user source code viewer, changing here, select source code editor. So the other thing, well, of course, you can build extension. I mean, it's a maybe different type of people doing, but I personally didn't, but I asked my guy, my team in the East to do that. And so the things I did, you can install that on your environment, but here, so selecting. Back to IBM now. There's 3. No. Well, now I get the error too. Let's go. Okay, so I connected to the 400 and I can go to Q RPG resource and that has code generated by 2E and there's some info names here. And if I do right click, so we add a new menu option here, so diagram impact, and then you click that, connecting to the Verb IT deployed, hopefully, and then it's open that particular programs, the diagram entry. So, so you see the same info name here, and can expand the code tree. So you know, this is like I don't know what to say. So extension is created. What it does is I think mainly 3 action here, the conceptually. So if you add a menu, it's 1. So you can insert you know, the menu option to the object action and where. So that's 1. And then when you click that menu, it's obtained the file name. And if file name is obtained, and then it creates a URL to open this page. So this right hand is basically browser control provided by. So it's basically a website here, but it's internally we create the browser, I mean a URL, and then ping that, and then rest of them is just running the web application here. So then yeah, so you can do whatever the things is doing, you can do. So you can have multiple tab, and so it's each browser control. So you can do backward, things like that. So yeah, so that's what yeah, we created. Well, it's difficult to deploy together. Of course, it's need a pre-processed static data, but it's just one way to create something simple, but it's neat. So plugin, I think it's probably same as Eclipse plugin writing step. So there's a baseline project or empty project you can download. So so plugin is written by either JavaScript or TypeScript. So not using Java. So it's very good. And then there's like a SDK plugin, then you download it and then just to make a change. And then there's a kind of special build process. And then it will be compiled as I put here. So it's so it's a build a VSIX file. So that's kind of compiled, I don't know, binary maybe. And then so this demo, so we don't publish this one to the market, but you can still install by extension. And then you have .3 dot. And then, so there's option install from with file. And you can select that, and it's happening same thing when you download from Marketplace. Of course, to publish Marketplace, as you can imagine, same as the smartphone application, you need to be have obtained the identity, you need to pass a certain thing, of course, then you can publish it. But that's a one thing you could do. Even inside only, it doesn't need to publish externally if you someone can read.
User agents rather, but we package our cell phone app as a Visual Studio Code app.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all Visual Studio Code, it's huge.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
yeah. Our agents are not that tech savvy.
Yeah, I was wondering how that, like NPM, whatever, Node.js, it's very handy to install, but is that, can we trust? Very too handy to install. Yeah, of course, that the extension idea, well, best is if you select source and then you analyze dynamically and then create a dive. That's really bad. That's, if we do that, that's very good, I think. Even we load some data statically and then we change, you made a change, and it's just combine with new information, create existing information, and then show that some subset that will be neat thing. Yep. So yeah, it's a TypeScript or JavaScript, and yeah, there's a tutorial, of course. Can go that things. And then interestingly, it's they use a Mac to any screenshots. Yeah, so. Yeah, well, yeah, I asked the guy in my remote team to just define what we want, and then he did very quickly. And of course, he knows JavaScript, TypeScript, but that's it, handy. Okay, so I think, yeah. Well, it's probably just not me, but currently, I think this is the best one to use. Not just many different languages in under single environment, and yep. Well, of course, there is always something second share or third share, but at this moment, last 5-6 years, this is a guy, and I don't have complaint. Well, sometimes, but especially, yeah, I still, like I said, I still have an argument within the Java people to use Eclipse, and I only use the VS Code. And then when I have some issue, because I'm using VS Code, but it's okay. At least I can debug, I can learn, so that's fine. Yeah, just please install. Even you don't use daily, but like some, like neat usage, even just a Git UI, that diff file, that's to give some something, you don't use debugging, so. But, yeah. For Plex, that's two things, view code. Well, even view code is, you can change to Notepad++, that's already good, it's
Yeah.
just to change anything,
Yeah.
but,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
but, Java, I mean, with Notepad has extension, so you can do lots of things, but, if you think about more proper syntax highlighting and some other stuff, maybe
Yeah.
VS Code. And then I don't think it's add a new, it's used the instance already open. Okay, it doesn't open this too.
Yes, you can, yeah, keep up.
Mm. Well, that's about, so it's not long enough, but hopefully. Well, we can go anything if you have some questions. So this is the format.